up, guys? It is your boy Intel. That was great.
You're Intel. I'm Collin.
Let's restart it. Hey, what's up, guys? It is your boy Intel back here from Jobber Nation, along with
Collin. C-Man.
You got a nickname? Thank you. We're back, episode number 2. We have not watched our matches yet because, as it turns out, Collin's awful at doing things that you ask him to do. Instead, we're gonna go. We're gonna teach Collin the basics of wrestling, including terms that Collin probably does or does not know. Don't look down because they're gonna be sitting here, and I don't want you to know any of them beforehand.
Okay.
I hope the microphone's picking all this up, but if it's not, then fuck it. All right, so I just almost choked on my water. I'm gonna move this.
That'll be good.
We'll cut that out. Fuck it. All right, so the basics of wrestling. There's whatever. Oh my god, there's so much to wrestling that I don't fucking know where to start. A ring has how many sides?
Well, a ring's a circle, which would mean there's infinite sides.
It's unbelievable. A wrestling ring has how many sides typically?
4.
4, right.
4.
Sometimes they have 6, but for the most part they have 4. How many ropes?
Well, there's 3.
Okay, 3's the answer, whatever. There's turnbuckles, there's stuff like that. There's basically 2 main ways to win a wrestling match, which are
Pinfall and tap out.
Submission. Yes, so same thing. Let's see, you can also lose or win by disqualification.
Yep.
Or count out.
Okay.
In which case a disqualification is hitting somebody in the dick or with a weapon and it's against the rules. Count out is you're outside of the ring for a 10 count or a 20 count depending on which company you're wrestling for. So that's your basic wrestling knowledge. They fight each other, blah blah blah. So now we're gonna get into terms. We're gonna put the definitions up in the video. So that way you guys can follow along, kind of. But basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask Collin some questions or terms, and he's going to guess what each term is, which is going to be interesting, and then we will figure out what the terms are. Let me pull up the fucking folder here so we actually can read them. So first up, we've got kayfabe. What does kayfabe mean?
I have no idea.
Just, I don't know, take a fucking guess.
It's like, I don't know, when you're a bitch all the time.
Bitch all the time. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's pull up kayfabe. Read me that definition.
The code of secrecy that undergirds the pro wrestling industry by which the secret of its unreality is protected. Keeping kayfabe is the act of staying in character before, during, and after shows so as to maintain the illusion. As an adjective, it separates real from fake. As in, he's not my real brother, he's just my kayfabe brother. The term comes from carny slang, possibly a variation of Pig Latin for be fake or keep secret.
Great. So, basically, kayfabe is
a poser. No.
It's basically the art of keeping wrestling.
Right.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it, so that's it. So if you hear somebody saying, keep it kayfabe, that means that, when Kane is out selling fucking home insurance, he's not being a monster, so he's not keeping a kayfabe. He's selling fucking insurance.
Right.
Next up, let's do gimmick. What the fuck is gimmick? Oh, okay. What is a gimmick?
Like a trick?
Like a trick, okay. Well, you're wrong. So, a gimmick, a wrestler's persona, character, or motive, as in the Russians working the evil foreigner gimmick. It can also refer to the scripted quality of a match, as in the match had too much gimmick. In insider usage, it can also refer to plunder used in the ring, or any unusual foreign object introduced, like, for the ending, let's have the Russian hit Joe with a gimmick. In backstage lingo, gimmick is a stand-in for basically any physical noun, like referring to a bag by saying, grab your gimmicks and let's go! Or referring to a pacemaker as a heart gimmick, or as a euphemism for drugs, from prescribed painkillers to street drugs. If an object is gimmicked, it's rigged for misdirection, as in a chair or table made to easily fall apart when used as a weapon. Woo! That was a long one. Shit.
That was a long one. I'm glad you took that one.
We got a few long ones. This one down here is pretty long too, so I'll have you read that one. So a gimmick is typically when you're talking about a gimmick, it's like the character somebody plays.
Right.
So Kane, for instance. Do you know who Kane is?
I know who Kane is.
So Kane's
Roughly,
gimmick is he's like a demon.
Right.
So Let's go to heel. What is a heel? I know you know this one.
Heel's a bad guy.
Okay, let's see if I know my alphabets. Where's
Right
fucking
there.
heel?
Right there. It's on it. Go.
Okay,
There
cool.
you go. Heel, a bad guy wrestler.
Yeah, you don't know that word, so whatever.
I
A
know,
monster
I
heel's a
know, you
massive.
want me to keep going.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So heel's a bad guy. The opposite of a heel is. I should probably
face?
Yes, a baby face. I just fucking gave it away. But yeah, a heroic good guy wrestler, also known as face or baby. So I've never heard anybody refer to a baby face as a baby, but apparently. According to the definitions, I just want to point out that I got all of these definitions from the Grantland Dictionary of Wrestling Terms, written by David Shoemaker, who also wrote that book. Great book. Decent book. I haven't read it all, but most of it's good. The part that I did read. All right, so let's go back. We missed one. Let's do heat. What is heat as far as wrestling terminology goes?
When someone gets a lot of bad press. I don't know.
It's actually really close, but I'll let you read it.
Any notable response from the crowd, usually used to mean the desired reaction, as in, your match really drew some great heat tonight. It's frequently used to connotate a negative response from the crowd, usually a desired effect by a villain, as in, the Russian really drew heat by spitting on the flag.
So yeah, kind of bad press, I guess, from the fans, but I was going to read connotate as connote. So, just... Good thing you fucking read that one. So basically... for the most part, heels want to have heat.
Okay. Makes sense.
Because usually, in today's world, heels usually get cheered, like the Bullet Club. They usually get cheered, but they're supposed to be heels, but they're really cool, so everybody usually cheers them anyways. And when you're being cheered, you are technically what?
Face.
A face, sure.
I mean, like, if people like you, I don't know.
Alright, well, technically you would be over. Popular with the fans. Getting over is the act of becoming popular or making fans care. Related, going over, which is the act of winning a match and putting over, which usually refers to... I actually read that wrong, but... And putting over, which usually refers to a wrestler making his opponent look good in the ring. Was that you?
That was not me. That was one of those two jabronis over there.
God damn it. Where was I at? So making his opponent look good in the ring, the Russian put Joe over, or a company deciding to make someone a star. So basically over, as the definition reads, you're popular with the fans. Also, if you're going over in a match, that means you're winning the match.
All right.
Let's go back because we missed tweener. What is a tweener?
Someone who's in between being a heel or a face, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even going to pull that definition up. It'll be on the video, but that's it. I'm not going to make you read that one.
Awesome.
Okay, so what is a turn?
When you go from face to heel, you turn.
Yep. Okay, I'm not going to pull that one up either.
Right,
So you're knocking these out of the park now. What is a pop? I'll give you a hint. It goes along with being over and being a babyface, although heels...
Like when you go so over that like people just quit caring anymore, and then you like you balloon up and you pop and then you become a heel.
No, that's not
okay.
it. You can read this one then.
Pop, a big cheer, otherwise desired response from a crowd. The term can be used vaguely as in that match really popped the crowd, or specifically as in that move got a big pop. In the specific, pops are mostly reserved for babyfaces. A cheap pop correlates to cheap heat. It's getting a cheer by going for the lowest common denominator. As in, it's great to be here in the fine city of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, so a pop. What else do they talk about? Cheap heat and a cheap pop. So a cheap heat is like when a wrestler goes out. So for instance, we live in Detroit. All the shows we go to are usually in Detroit. Somebody comes out and they say, "Oh man, I'm sick of being in this dump, Detroit." That would be cheap heat. The crowd's gonna boo them because they're talking about their hometown. A cheap pop would be, "It's great to be here in such a great place as the Red Wings play in Detroit." So then the crowd would cheer cheap pop, cheap heat. So I feel like you understood what pop meant. It's just a fucking when the crowd cheers, basically. So next up, let's talk about a booker. What is a booker?
I don't know, someone who likes Booker T.
Someone who... That was close. I mean, it's very close. A booker is the head decision maker in a wrestling promotion who writes or otherwise plans out a show. To book a show is to plan the storylines and match outcomes. So, I mean, you were close by saying somebody who likes Booker T. I mean, Booker T was pretty over, right? He got a pretty decent pop, if you will. He went over a few times. I just used over twice, but okay. So a booker usually what did that say again? Okay, yeah, let's fucking just click everything. Let's see, book storylines and match outcomes. Let's go into something that also has to go with what the booker has to do, and let's talk about what an angle is. And I'm not talking about Kurt Angle. I'm talking about the term angle.
Maybe that could be something like how they want the storyline to go. And they're using that, but I don't know.
Close. You can read it, though.
A storyline or a plot in the wrestling product, as in they're working a classic underdog angle. It can be employed in either small bore usage, an example, the angle in a match, or in a large-scale terms to describe a lengthy story. The term is borrowed from the archaic criminal/carny phrase, work an angle, which means figuring out a scam or finding an underhanded way to make a profit.
That last part was really interesting to me because I had no clue that that's where that came from. But, so I mean, basically an angle is whatever storyline or whatever you're working. Right. So Booker T, his angle is, to fight fucking somebody. You guys talking over there? Because I could have sworn we told you to pipe the shut down.
I tried. He threw shit at you. I tried to save you.
All right, well, you're not in the video. We have an intern here, guys, and we were gonna let him do his first video, and he's now fucking kicked out. So we're gonna have our new intern, and he's gonna be in the video instead. Next, similar to an angle, we're kind of going in order here now. What is a push? When push comes to shove, I almost fucked that all up.
When push comes to shove, they're gonna push for a heel to become a face. Is that right?
Not really, but
a promotion for a wrestler up to or towards the top of the card, as in Joe's getting a main event push.
Yeah, so basically, when a booker wants to book an angle in which he wants somebody to come out as a star, he's going to be pushing whoever that is.
Gotcha.
What would you say is the opposite of push? Just looking at the words here. Just look at the words here.
I figured that would be cheating.
Up on the screen.
Squash.
Close. Very close.
Close.
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. It's actually bury. So to bury somebody, I'm not going to read the definition. To make somebody look bad in a match. There's more there on the screen. Read it if you want. But basically, when you bury somebody, you can actually squash them, which if you look here, I actually have squash combined with bury. You can squash them, which is a short, what's that word?
Inconsequential.
Thank you. Match. I actually practiced that word like 17 times this morning, and now I fucked it up. Match used to showcase one wrestler. So basically, if they're pushing somebody, they might put them in a match with somebody that they're burying. Squash the person that they're burying to push
so,
the babyface. Squash the heel.
Exponentially.
And, so you're dropping this
on
guy.
either end.
A lot of times... It says it in the definition, but a lot of times when somebody's buried, it has to do with something that's backstage that's political. So somebody, I don't know, posts something on Twitter that the company didn't like, so now they're going to bury him and basically take him off the show. Let's go into job. What do you think job is? It kind of has to go with squash and bury and push and all these things, but basically it has to go with burying and squashing.
I don't know.
All right, let's. I'll use it in a sentence for you. Joe did the job for Mark.
When someone
Joe, well, right. I guess I can't. Joe jobbed to Mark. There we go. Kind of the same thing.
I don't know. You're confusing the shit out of me.
All right. Well, you can read it.
Job. Broadly, to lose a match, specifically to lose ignominiously, as if overmatched while your opponent looks good. Career losers or nobodies sent out just to be punching bags for their opponents are called jobbers.
Hey, check that shit out.
So don't call yourself a punching bag, dude. Come on, you're better than that. Anyways, also preliminary wrestlers, curtain jerkers or ham and eggers, or occasionally local talent for guys who are drafted from local minor leagues for one-night-only appearances. A mid-card wrestler who is frequently fed to the top-tier talent is sometimes called a jobber to the stars. The act of doing a job is to do the job or to job out.
Exactly. So my favorite one there was ham and eggers. I also like curtain jerkers, but I knew that one. I didn't really know ham and eggers. So its job is basically to lose a match. God, unbelievable.
Interns, what are you gonna do?
All right, so we're back and we cut some shit out. So now we're gonna continue on with definitions and terms. And there's a note. We got a note from the interns here. So, anyways, next term is a swerve. This has to do with. I guess it doesn't really have to do with anything we've talked. I mean, it kind of does. I mean, like everything kind of goes together, but I don't. It doesn't really directly connect to anything. What do you think a swerve is?
When, maybe, just maybe, when you're going down the plot line and you're like swerve and you go in a completely different direction.
It's actually basically right a shocking turn or surprise in a storyline. Also used as a verb, as in, we really swerved the fans tonight. A Russo swerve is shocking but nonsensical, named after one-time WWF and WCW booker, Vince Russo. So Vince Russo was a notorious booker back in the day that worked for WWE and WCW, and he had these crazy fucking angles where, you know, people would be turning on other people and whatnot. So. Oh, are we talking over there? Because I thought we had said that like we would do our part and then we would add your part in later on. All right, so we're back. We had to cut some more stuff out. And what is a work?
Work does it have to do with a job? No, not really. Then I don't know. I have no idea.
Work. Read it.
Worker is a synonym for wrestler. Wrestlers are often called good workers or bad workers to rate their ring work. Incidentally, this definition seems to stem not from the wrestling-specific definition of work as a put-on, but rather from the traditional definition of work.
This definition is awful. I'm not going to lie. Basically, a work. I use it a lot, the term where I'll tell people you're getting worked. Basically, when I use it, it's like when they do something on the show. So like when somebody is mad at the heel because they're like annoying on TV, they're being worked.
Gotcha.
Right? So like the heel is actually doing their job. They're annoying whoever's watching, and then somebody's like, oh, I really hate them because Stephanie McMahon's so annoying. I hate her voice. I'm basically imitating my sister who does that. And then I think, oh, she's getting worked. So that's a work. But the opposite of a work would be a shoot, an instance of reality in wrestling. Be it in a shoot fight or in a shoot interview, the term comes from an old term shoot. The old term shooter. Shoot can be used both in terms of the wrestling product. The Russian was shooting on Joe out there. They really like Joe in this thing.
Russians.
It got ugly.
Too.
Yeah.
Like Russians.
And in casual conversation as a substitute for being honest. Is that really true? You shooting with me? As a general synonym for legit, the opposite of a shoot, see entry, is a work. The worked shoot finds a wrestler using the pretense of reality of going off script to deliver a planned speech. So you have a work, which is basically keeping the crowd in the palm of your hand. You got a shoot, which is bringing reality into wrestling. And then you have a worked shoot, which is where you try to act like you're bringing reality into wrestling, but you really planned it all along. So, there you go. I feel like are you getting this?
Yeah.
What is a babyface?
It's a good guy.
Okay. What does over mean?
Good guy. But like when they like the crowd likes them. They're
okay.
over.
What's a pop?
Like when you say something or so when something goes over like really well and the crowd cheers.
Okay. What does it mean to be buried?
When you screwed up and now they don't like you, so you're done. They're gonna squander.
All right, cool. You're paying attention. Where are we at? Shoot spot. What is a spot? I'm not talking about a dog. I'm talking about in wrestling.
Spot. Can I phone a friend?
Yeah, phone a friend.
All right, Danny. Bird.
What?
All right, you got to get in the video. He's phoning a friend.
I'm phoning a friend.
Oh.
What's a spot?
A spot?
You got to get in the video.
You got to get in the video.
Or you're not in the video.
Hello, YouTube. I don't know what a spot is. Bye, YouTube.
Can I unphone my friend?
Did you want to phone another friend?
Can I phone another friend?
He doesn't know what it is.
My other friend doesn't know it. I guess I'm
I don't know how you.
I guess just pull up the definition at this point.
Wait, Bird, come back in here. You're gonna read this one now. Let me make sure you're in. All right, cool. Now read the definition.
Any move during a match or a sequence of moves that make up an identifiable whole. The term is frequently used as a point of reference both in a match planning and in review.
You could have read the parentheses, but it's okay. We'll just let the crowd do it. So if you guys watched the first episode, we were talking about a couple of friends, and then we were both like, whatever. This is that. Do you get it? Sell. What's a sell? What's it mean to sell?
When you do a move and they sell it well. Like, it looks
basically.
real.
Yep, basically, the definition says something along the lines of acting like you're hurt or some blah, 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 to respond to an opponent's attack as if it hurts, because in wrestling, things aren't supposed to hurt, although occasionally they do hurt. If I punched you and then you were like, oh my god, that would be to sell, although you'd be overselling. Oh, actually, I think there's more in there.
There was quite a bit.
Selling well, maybe not. Some of these have, like, definitions within them, so... let's see. Yeah, maybe not. But then a no-sell is basically to not sell. Did I even click on sell? Yeah, I did. Next, what is a bump?
I don't know.
Bump. You got a bump on your testicle. That means you probably got testicular cancer. Not in this case, though. Bump. There it is. Go ahead.
Bump. A move taken in the ring resulting in a hard fall or landing. Or, as a verb, to take such a move. It can also refer to the act of selling.
Act of selling. So they kind of go hand in hand. Bump, basically, when you fucking fall down. You get taught that on day one in wrestling training. When you take a bump, you're supposed to take it on your back and shit, whatever. I don't know. I never trained to be a wrestler, so I don't know stuff. Unbelievable. Botch. What does it mean to botch?
When something goes... They're planning something, but it doesn't go how they're planning it, so it's botched. Kind of like what all of this is right now.
Yeah, we botched the shit out of this video. That's right, though. Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 words left to go. We're kicking the interns out. Here they go. They're going to be walking right by us.
To be fair, one has a broken leg.
One has a broken leg. He's got a cripple on by. Here we go. Out the door we go.
Where do I go?
Just go sit in the living room.
I'm just going to go with your mom.
Right, yeah, she's cleaning, but we'll see you guys in a
I
minute.
have to use the bathroom.
If you can hear me, you can. Did you take any notes?
No, because you're a big fat meanie and I wrote it down.
Okay. All right. Cool. Close. Can you guys close the door on the way out too? Great. Thank you. So we've got 4 tickets to ROH tonight, guys. Right? We've got 4 tickets, and 2 of them are now gone. So we're going to ROH. They're not. And it's going to be a doozy of an old time. All right, so now we're going to continue on with this Botch Fest. Botchamania, if you will, is going to be running wild on these bitches. If you don't know what Botchamania is, while we're at it, well, check out Botchamania. It is a great show on the internet. It's usually Vimeo or something like that. If you go, they have a website. You go to botchamania.com or something. It's fucking hilarious stuff.
Okay.
Last 10 words here, though. Let's knock them out real quick, because we've been going for fucking ever. 26 minutes, but most of it's going to get cut out anyway, so what does it matter? Schmaz. This one's my favorite. Not for the definition, for the word. But what is a schmaz? Schmaz.
I really have no idea.
Schmaz. Maybe I should click on it so that way you can read it while
we can do that.
Schmaz. It's actually not that long.
A match that ends in chaos rather than in a decisive finish. Usually due to a number of wrestlers not involved in the match running in and preventing a clean finish. Okay.
Can you think of a recent example that we just saw last night at Global Wars that would be a good example of this?
Well, we weren't at Global Wars.
Well, we were watching, but yeah.
Okay. I don't know. The end.
Yeah, the
title match.
Yeah. The Young Bucks came out. They were kicking people. Adam Cole came out. Schmaz.
Yeah.
So that's basically what a schmaz is. What is a finish? This one's like, I'm basically giving it to you in the word.
When you finish.
Yeah, like in a porno or whatever.
The scripted ending of a match. A finisher is a wrestler's match-ending move. A clean finish is a fair pinfall win. A dirty finish occurs when the ending is marred by cheating. I'm sorry, marred, not married. That'd be weird.
I actually
marred,
read married
cheating,
too.
Or is otherwise in dispute. A false finish is when the wrestler conveys one ending only for it to turn out to be misdirection or to have it reversed.
All right, so this definition was like this long because it had all of the like every type of finish that there is. But I only brought these ones, so you basically got a regular finish, which is the end of a match, a finisher, which is the move, a clean finish, a dirty finish, a false finish. But then there's like a ton. There's a dusty finish, which is I'm not going to get into it because then you're going to get confused, and I don't want to get into it right now. At some point when we encounter those type of finishes, I'll describe them to you and you'll understand them. So, go home. What does it mean to go home?
Go home.
Just go home. Yeah.
Just go home.
A lot of times a wrestler will whisper this into another guy's end. It's basically the ending of a match or a card, as in, let's do a waist lock and then head into the go home. Or as go home show. Did I delete something?
Yeah, it looks like it. You probably did.
The modern term for the last TV episode before pay-per-view. So typically a go home is like they'll plan it out in the back before the match. You know, I'll hit you with the suplex, I'll climb to the top, I'll hit the elbow, I'll hit you with my finisher, and then that's the finish or the go home. And then they'll, you know, in the match, the ref will either tell them we got 5 minutes, so you guys need to go home, and then they'll go home. They'll do the finish of the match, right. And then the match is over. What is a promo?
Promo, I know what that is. That's like, you know, your videos. I got to cut one to fight Peter Puffin at some point. But
okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So a promo, a monologue or an interview given by a wrestler. Basically what you said. A wrestler's skill in promo is often discussed as mic work, which is important to know. You'll hear me talk about it a lot. Like, he's good on the mic, whatever. A good promo artist is referred to as a good talker or as being good on the stick. So the microphone is kind of shaped like a stick. So
being the stick, not
good on
an
the stick.
actual stick.
Yeah, or a dick.
Very clear.
So, what is a rub? And I'm not talking about, you know, a nice dry rub that you put on your
chicken,
ribs, whatever. Yeah,
steak,
something else.
I don't know.
Take a guess. Just
a rub is probably when someone irritates someone that they weren't supposed to irritate.
Not even close. You can read it.
A measure of positive endorsement given from one, usually established, wrestler to another, up-and-coming wrestler, or, more precisely, from a promoter to a wrestler via another wrestler.
So, a time recently when this happened, you weren't watching wrestling yet, but Roman Reigns had just won the Royal Rumble. Then they sent The Rock out to give him the rub, so to speak. Sometimes they'll also do it in a match where a wrestler will lose to a more established wrestler, or they'll just be in the match to give him the rub. Just by being in a match with somebody that's more important than you, it makes you seem more important, and then that makes you more important, so you get the rub. What is a rib? This one's not so important, but I included it anyways. Let's say that I ribbed you.
You ribbed me. You made fun of me. You got on my case. You ribbed me.
That's pretty close. A rib, a prank between wrestlers, usually in the locker room, that predominantly, Jesus Christ, I was going to say periodically, and then I freaked out and then realized it's predominantly, rises from a boys' club culture, life on the road, and a lot of time to kill. So one notorious one that keeps on being brought up is people shitting in other people's bags for whatever reason. They do a lot of crazy stuff back there. There's a show actually on the network called Swerve, which is basically a show where they're ribbing each other. I don't know why they didn't call it ribbing. They went with swerved, which is a different word that we learned, which doesn't have anything to do with the show. I guess, actually. If you're like walking into a locker room and then you take a cannon of powder to the face, you would be swerved because you weren't expecting it, right? I guess? Kind of?
Yeah, you got it.
What are the indies? I feel like you might know this one.
Like, indies would be like your NXT, your ROHs, like your stuff like that, maybe? Or
not NXT.
Not as well known.
Not NXT. NXT would be development because they are directly
associated with
WWE. With the WWE. But ROH, although some people will argue that ROH is not an independent company because they are owned by a bigger company now and they sign wrestlers to exclusive contracts and whatnot. They started off as a company that was supposed to be the showcase for the top indie wrestlers. Okay. So I consider them an indie company still, but a really notorious indie company is PWG. Oh, hey guys, we're back. We had to cut a piece out again. It's like the 7th time it happened. We're on to green, though. What does it mean to be green? I feel like, to me, this
when
one...
you recycle a lot.
Yeah. That's exactly it. To me, it's like, a lot of these terms are like, oh, that's easy. They're obviously, duh. But then I'm like, of course, I know it, but it's wrestling. But to be green is inexperienced in the ring. Okay. Often expanded by Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Makes sense. Like a greenhorn.
Greener than goose shit.
Like a greenhorn. You're new to something. Got it.
So basically, I put that one after indies because a lot of guys on the indies could be considered green.
Green wrestling.
You would be green, yeah. So what is a mark? Not my uncle Mark.
My dad's name's Mark.
Not your dad Mark. Something else.
I feel like I've heard you say they hit a mark at some point with us hanging out.
Maybe.
But I don't know.
Maybe not in the term...
They hit their mark, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. No.
Well,
this is a long one, so...
I got this. I'll field this one. A wrestling fan not clued into the sham of the enterprise, borrowed from the carnival midway where American wrestling got its start. The mark was the dupe who fell for the guess your weight scam or the ring toss. The opposite in wrestling is a smart. Is a smart?
Yeah, that's actually...
Okay. A person with the intimate backstage knowledge of the wrestling world. The middle ground occupied by a hearty portion of modern wrestling fans is the smart mark, or smark. Someone who's in on the fact that wrestling isn't on the level, but who doesn't speak about wrestling from the intimate knowledge or experience. Mark is used by wrestlers to refer to fans in general. A smark is often used as a term of definition for know-it-all fans by wrestlers, as in goddamn internet smarks don't know shit from Shinola. Marking out means reacting loudly as an audience member.
I just want to point out that you pointed at me when you got to smark, and I don't consider myself a smark because a lot of times smarks try to act like they know it all.
Okay.
And especially on the internet, like, oh, the WWE should have went this way or that way with it. And I mean, like, sometimes I'll be like, but I mean, I try not to.
I just pointed you because you know a lot more than I do.
Right. So, okay. But the term mark is, it starts off by saying, like, the term mark is kind of a put down, I guess. Okay. But it's really not, because a lot of wrestlers can my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Consider themselves marks. They call themselves marks. Basically, from a lot of people's point of view, a mark is just a fan of the business, a fan of wrestling. Okay. So, a smark is usually somebody who's kind of annoying, though. But, so yeah, definition's kind of there. But, last one. You should know this one. I kind of hope you know this one. But what is a manager?
Someone who manages their wrestlers, like they help
them
get their shows, etc. A non-wrestler who accompanies a wrestler to the ring and guides his career. Okay.
Well, no one is Bobby Heenan, who you will see at some point. Maybe he was... Who was in that match? It was Ric Flair. Ric Flair had a manager, right?
Yeah, he was Asian. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know who it was. I forgot. Maybe I should have taken better notes. But, so we're through all of the words now, guys. If you have any recommendations for more words that Collin, the C-Man, should know, leave them in the comment section below or tweet at us at jobber_nation. Do you know your Twitter?
At CollinPayne97.
At CollinPayne97. They show up on the screen. They'll be in the description below. I think that should do it for now. Do you have any questions? Did you want to put a sentence together with the words?
No.
No?
No.
Let's see. The babyface was keeping it kayfabe by getting some heat on the heel to get himself over. Halfway through the match, he turned, which got a huge pop from the crowd. From the marks! He pinned the guy, the heel. Did the job. I don't know. Whatever. I'm done. I quit. Thank you guys for watching. I apologize for the train wreck that has been this video. Make sure to check out episode number 3. Which will be a lot smoother and cleaner. Yes. Less cuts and edits. No interns. They've been fired. They're gone. Out of here. I fired them. Threw their fucking ROH tickets in the garbage. But thank you guys for watching. This has been...
C-Man.
And Intel. You say bye first.
Bye.
Bye!
Until I met a certain someone.
The love of his life.
No, definitely.
Teaching my boyfriend wrestling. No, we're not gay. Seriously. There's nothing wrong with being gay. We're going to cut this part out.